this is Katie Gamble, and I'm here with my buddy Charlie Kuhn for another episode of Clarksville's Conversation, where we like to introduce you to people in the community, leaders, just people making a difference, and tell you a little bit about them and give you a chance to get to know them.
That's right. We have an exciting new member of our community today, Katie. And anytime we talk about Austin Peay, we talk about sports.
Of course.
It's the front door to the university. I've heard that a lot this week. And it's exciting to have Coach Scotty Walden, the new Austin Peay State University football coach.
Welcome.
Hey, appreciate you guys having me on. Excited to be here.
So now, how long have you been in Clarksville so far? Just like a few weeks, right?
Yeah, well, so now I'm a veteran now. I've been here a month now. So
Wow.
It's been about a month and some change now. So it's gone by, like a blur though, but been really fun, really awesome. Just getting settled in and, getting the family here and it's been great though. People have been awesome.
So has your family arrived yet, or are you still trying to find a place? Because the housing market's kind of difficult right now.
Yeah. So we know that they got here.
So
and
talk
they're
to
here
us
to
now.
stay.
Good. That's nice.
Well, I don't know. You've looked at his bio, Katie, and you can see how young he is. Now, is it true?
He's like a young whippersnapper.
Yeah. Is it true that you're the youngest Division I football coach?
That's what they tell me. Yeah, I haven't really sat there and compared ages, but that's what they say. Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. And the first time I saw anything about you other than just the announcement was your press conference in the Dunn Center. And I watched that. And I'm going to tell you, Katie, I was ready to suit up when he got done.
Oh, my word.
He had it fired up. A lot of energy.
Hey, I don't think he wants that.
we got extra pair of shoulder pads down here at Ford Stadium. If you ever feel like it, man, you come on down.
He's not as young as he used to be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So now talk to me about where you were before coming to Austin Peay and kind of that path that got you here to Austin Peay.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So I was at the University of Southern Mississippi before coming here to Austin Peay. I took the job originally at Southern Miss to coach the inside receivers and the tight ends, and then my second year got promoted to be the receivers coach and the co-offensive coordinator. And then going into my last season, my fourth year at Southern Miss, we had a coaching change at the head coaching position, and I took over after game one as the interim head coach. And then I got here to Austin Peay. Prior to that, I was the head coach at East Texas Baptist University in 2016, and then I was there a total of 4 years as well. 1 year as the head coach, 3 years as the offensive coordinator, and then I started my career at a small university, my alma mater, where I played at a small college out in West Texas called Sul Ross State University. Played quarterback there in 2011, and then in 2012 became the offensive coordinator the year after I played. I was, not many people moving their families out to Alpine, Texas. It's it's 90 miles from the Mexican border, and it's a beautiful place. I love Alpine, Texas. Like, I'd go back there in a heartbeat and visit, and my wife, I don't know if would ever let me move back out there, but it's a beautiful place. But we only had 2 full-time coaches, and so our defensive coordinator and our head coach were the 2 full-time guys. I was the offensive coordinator, but I was actually a GA, so I was teaching class and working on my master's, and then coaching. And so that's where I got started up at. But yeah, before I came to Austin Peay, I was at Southern Miss.
I actually am familiar with Alpine, Texas. I've actually been there.
Come on. Boy, we just became friends.
Yeah,
That fires
you're
me
right.
up.
It is a beautiful place. I lived in Kingsville, Texas for a small time back when I was young. Yeah, so I visited different places.
That is awesome.
And I know Kingsville's not a place that you want to go visit.
Yeah. Oh, that is a small world right there. That is awesome.
Yeah, it sure is. Sure is.
Not many people
tell us
know
a little bit how you're adapting.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Tell us a little bit how you're adapting to Clarksville and meeting all your new guys, your whole team. Everybody's new to you. So how do you adapt to that?
Yeah. I think that's a great question. I think when you come into a new, a new city, a new state, I think you got to come in and kind of sit back and listen and observe, and, I kind of want to get the vibe of Clarksville, what kind of town it is. And, it's military town with Fort Campbell being here, I think is a big time deal. And that is awesome to have the second biggest military base in the nation sitting right here. And my neighbors in the area I live in, I've got 3 neighbors that are all in the military, and I like that. That's a really cool thing. And I realize how big of a role the military plays in our town. But I've been blown away seriously by the people. I think the people always make the place, no matter how big or small the place is. And I've been blown away just by the welcoming people and the people that have helped me and my wife and our son transition here and making our transition here to Austin Peay and Clarksville just smooth. And they've been fantastic. I've been blown away too by the support for the university. Places I've been, I don't know if I've seen just, the amount of support from so many different people of the university, and they want to see this place succeed. They want to see this place thrive. And, it's awesome to be at a place where there's people invested in what's going on. And it's not just like, hey, we have a university in our town. No, we've got the university in our town that we love and support. And I've met so many alums already and people that just are, excited to give back to what we're doing here at Austin Peay. And that's been awesome. But the thing I love about Clarksville that I sell to recruits and talk to them about is, this is a perfect size town. It's not too big. It's not like Nashville where it's just a metropolis where you get lost, and it's not, small town where there's 5 people in the town. It's a perfect size to me. It's and it's got everything you need, and I think that's a great selling point for recruits. And but it's been a great deal for us and the coaching staff. Heck, it's helped me sell the coaching staff that I want to come in here, and they've loved getting to know the town, and they love what Clarksville's about. And but again, over everything, the people, and he's down to earth people, good people. You just feel like it's a good town, college town where they support Austin Peay, and that's fun, and that's where Callie and I, have always wanted to be is a place like that. Similar in a lot of regard to me, like there's some similarities to Hattiesburg. Hattiesburg is a great college town, and this place is very similar in that regard as well. And we've loved our time so far in Clarksville, and the people have been awesome to us.
Well, you mentioned in there a little blurb about recruitment, and for years you've probably looked back at the history of Austin Peay football, and we went through a dark period, and then we had Coach Healy come in, and the administration kind of put a little more effort into it with the new stadium and all that kind of stuff. How has that helped you when you're selling the program to recruits and your coaches?
No doubt. And I have the utmost respect for Coach Healy and his staff. And when he came in and flipped this thing, and Coach Hudspeth that was just here and did a great job. I mean, those guys, Coach Healy reached out, to me, and we talked several times when this job came up. And, from what he told me when he took the job, from his salary pool to the facilities to what they were to what I'm walking into, I'm like, I feel like that spoiled kid, on the block, man. Like, I told him, hey, I appreciate you getting it lifted off the ground, man, because that's, to hear what it was to what it is now is awesome. And, that's just attributed to not only Coach Healy and his staff, but the buy-in from the administration, the buy-in from the town to want a winner, and I think that's when you want to win and you want to win at a high level consistently, you're going to have to invest. And that's the name of the game. You can't, you got to put your money where your mouth is, so to speak. And obviously Clarksville and the administration have done that exponentially. I mean, we have an indoor facility sitting right here. I mean, recruits, they eat that up. I mean, they cannot believe we have an indoor facility. At Southern Miss, we didn't have an indoor facility. We've got 2 coaches on the staff from Middle Tennessee State that they didn't have an indoor facility. I mean, it's just there's so many aspects of it that people have poured into this thing. And I'm just really blessed and fortunate to get to come in, at a time where there's a lot of great things to sell, here at Austin Peay, the future. And it's my job and our coaching staff's job to continue to foster that culture, but also to take it to the next level. And that's why the one big reason why I took the job is because Gerald Harrison and our alignment is in the same accord. not only with where we want to take this place, but the way we believe how to handle kids, on a daily basis. When I interviewed with him, I talked about, coaching the whole player. And that's something I'm, adamant on, I'm big on. And if that was going to be an issue, I didn't want to take the job, is not only coaching guys athletically, but academically, spiritually, and socially. I asked him, about, I'm a man of faith. I am what I am, and I want our staff to be that. And if can I talk about my faith, and he was like, absolutely. If I couldn't, then, that was going to be just a hard deal, just because, I'm blessed to be at a place where you can talk about that, and I'm really fortunate to be at a place like that, because not a lot of places you can do that at. And so, but when I talked to him about coaching the whole player, he hit me with, and I didn't even know about it, what they call, what he calls, the total gov concept, in our athletic department. And that means coaching, the whole player. That's what essentially Mr. Harrison was talking about, was, making sure the total student athlete experience, is hit on. And, that aligned perfectly with, with my beliefs and my goals. And so when you have an administration bought in, it's easy to recruit here because of what they've invested, from a culture standpoint and from a physical, facility standpoint as well.
Yep.
So, we were going to ask you about your philosophy, but I think you just told us what it was.
Sorry about that.
Whole kid, which I like that. And no, that's okay. No, that's important. And we are very blessed to live in a community, or even in an area where we can talk about our faith. And it's interesting when you hear other people say in other areas they can't, because I don't think that we've ever been in that situation.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
Talk to us a little bit about how COVID has affected recruitment and how it's affecting the way that you're having to operate as a coach and as a team.
Yeah, Katie, that's a great question, $1 million question, and I wish we had $1 million answer. But the best thing, I tell you what, the staff has come together, and just we got to get creative. Like we're doing official visits via Zoom, and doing that, and so we get kids on there one at a time, but we have different people, and I'm very thankful to our academics, our head trainer, our equipment staff, and our strength and conditioning staff, because they pop on kind of in waves, and they will, address that. It's kind of like we take the kid, hey, you're on campus right now, you're meeting the staff, and then we take you over to academics. We just kind of virtually walk over there, if you will, and then they give their 2 cents on how we do academics. Then we go through that. And then we do in-home visits, virtually, obviously. We had kind of we set up a couch and some Christmas lights and put a Christmas tree in the background and try to make it feel at home. And then we put the camera on, and we have like kind of an in-home visit, if you will, with the recruits. And we just try to make it feel as real as possible, like they're really here with us. But I think technology, and Zoom just has opened up a ton of doors for, we have so many resources. We can throw PowerPoints, videos, all that stuff. And you just got to get creative and think outside the box. And I'm blessed to be around the staff that does that. And the kids have, I'm really, we're really in a good spot here right now recruiting. We've got several commitments right now, and we're hoping to just get them to sign on signing day. And we've had 5 other guys jump in the boat, recently, and we're really thrilled about where we're headed. And so we think the formula is working. We just got to keep swinging away, getting creative.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very unique year. So in the fall, during football season, 3 games had been played already, which you weren't here for. Then we take a break, and then you've got spring football, which is usually spring practice, and the games are on Sundays.
Right.
So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, great. No, it is a calendar scheduled nightmare, trying to just make it all work, because we got to put in a new offense, a new defense, new special teams. You got to use all the time you can. So we got our guys. We maximized, I feel like, the time when we first got here till now, till we let our guys go back home, and we're gonna bring them back early January. And we got to hit the ground running. We got to get ready for practice. I mean, you're going right into it to where January becomes July. We got to flip all that in our mind for us. So January is July to where we're kind of finishing up those last few weeks of strength and conditioning, and we have a couple of meetings and walkthroughs that we'll be able to do. And then whenever January 23rd hits, that's our first practice, and that's fall camp, so to speak. It's spring camp really now. But the kids are going to be in school. So it's going to be different. You're not going to get as much time with them, which, I think a lot of OVC teams, they've got an advantage because, there's not a new coach in the OVC besides me. So they've already got their systems installed and things like that. And so we're going to have to really, really just be efficient with our time. But it's just like anything, like you guys have had to do and families have had to do. You got to adapt to this COVID world. And that's what we're doing, is adapting and creating the best schedule and trying to put our kids in the best situation to be successful.
Coach, speaking of scheduling, recently Georgia Tech was added to APSU's long-range schedule, and there seems to be more of those big-name teams that APSU is going up against. What are some of the pros and cons of being in a situation where, you're kind of getting some publicity, but you're also kind of getting beat up on by, much bigger programs?
Yeah, no doubt. And there's a lot of, that's a great question, because there's a lot of pros and cons to it, Chris. Number one, I think it's phenomenal for our kids to get to go play against the best in the country. I think that's something that they'll talk about the rest of their lives. That's something an experience that they'll have. When I was at Southern Miss, we played in Tuscaloosa, played at Alabama, and that's just a phenomenal experience to get that. Now, the outside world, again, views that like, okay, you're going in there to take a loss. Now, in this building, we will never go into a game. I don't care if we're playing the Dallas Cowboys or Green Bay Packers. We're never going to go in a game thinking we're going to lose a game. And that's going to be our mindset. I don't care if no one in the world gives us a chance. We're going to be the only crazy dudes that think we got a chance. Whenever we play Georgia Tech or whoever we play, the next year we play Ole Miss, I mean, we're going to go in those games to win them. And we're not going to go in those games that, hey, we're here to just take our L and go home. Like, that's not the mindset. I think that's a losing mindset. And our kids won't have that mindset. But again, you are going against some of the best in the country, which to me, that's fun. To me, that's, we get to coach against the best coaches in the country. We get to play against the best players in the country, and we get to go do it in a very fun environment, and in recruiting, it helps recruiting because, recruits want to play against the best. We're talking to several recruits right now. We're selling that. We're talking about playing Ole Miss and Alabama. I mean, who doesn't want to do that, And so those are the pros to it. The cons to it, obviously, is the biggest con to me to it is, those games don't help you get in the FCS playoffs. That's the biggest cons to it. So you got to be careful not scheduling too many of them because you could theoretically, let's say, you went 3-9 and the three teams you beat were three FBS schools, but you lost to all FCS schools. I mean, you ain't getting in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, so They don't really help you. But they are great for recruiting. They're great for the experience for our kids and something we'll continue to do. But you got to be careful with how many you schedule for FCS playoff purposes.
Just curious, because you said great for the exposure. Austin Peay was the very first college football game played of the entire season this year. Has that been good exposure for you guys? Has that paid off?
It has. It's come up several times in recruiting and just, coaches, high school coaches you're talking to, stuff like that. Like, yeah, I remember when you guys played on ESPN the first game to kick off the COVID era. I mean, like that, that's a big time deal. I think that really paid off. And, I think it got Austin Peay's logo out there on national television, especially during a time such as, COVID, because they wanted to see, don't think that, I mean, every team in the nation from probably Nick Saban to Lane Kiffin to everybody was, peeking that game to see, okay, how's this going to work on game day with the COVID protocols. And I think it was a phenomenal opportunity for Austin Peay to promote their brand and to take that step forward and be leaders in the season and kind of kick off things in the COVID season. I think it was really unique.
I've got a question once again about recruiting, but also the rule, I guess, for this year that seniors or everybody gets an extra year. Yeah. So it seems to me like it would hurt in recruitment if you wanted a certain player, but you have a senior who may come back. Yeah. How do you recruit versus someone possibly staying? Yeah,
that is a question we deal with every single day. You have to be meticulous and you got to be careful because, you got to be calculated. It can't just be, all right, we're going to sign 20, 25 guys. I mean, it's one of those days where it will affect your recruiting numbers because obviously nobody just has that amount of money to have a full signing class and keep all their seniors. And so I think every year too, just, attrition happens, especially nowadays. I mean, guys want to transfer, some guys want to transfer, some guys, football might not be for them, that stuff happens. And so you're going to have natural attrition, but also you just got to be calculated and really manage your numbers the right way when you're signing these kids and understanding that, okay, this is going to put me over the 85 counters. Or this is gonna, or we got this many spots available, and you got to be careful. But it's created a whole new dynamic in roster management, and when you have that, you got to really be meticulous on your numbers and just be careful. Make sure you don't oversign to where you're 20 over the number and you got to do something about it. You got to be really, really, really conscious of that.
So Coach, before we, sign off here, is there anything that we haven't touched on that you would like to share with Clarksville?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just very thankful to the Clarksville community. I'm really blessed. I tell recruits this all the time, I'm living my dream every day. Like I wanted to get into coaching. My high school coach, Coach Phil Young, is the one that, really inspired me to be a football coach. And my dream always to be a Division I head football coach. And I'm beyond blessed to be the head coach here at Austin Peay and get to live out that dream every day. And, as long as our staff is here, we're going to work our tails off. And, I'm not a big guarantee guy. I'm not one of these guys, I guarantee we're going to win championships, yada, yada. Now, we're going to strive to win every game we play and strive to get a great product that Clarksville's proud of, and that you guys are proud of and our university's proud of. But we're going to guarantee that we're going to work our tails off every day for this university and represent this university in the right way, doing things the right way, and making sure that we build a culture and a tradition that's built to last, and bring in a staff that's going to pour into young men, not only on the field but off the field. And we want to be a part of this community. We don't just want to be a football program to where, hey, you guys come see us on I was about to say Saturdays, but really you come to see us on Sundays in the spring, after church. But you guys come in Forterra Stadium. I don't want people to come in and that's the only time they're associated with our program. I want this community. This is Clarksville's football team. This is I want this to be the standard of FCS football in the state of Tennessee. And I want people to be invested in this program, because we're going to be invested in our community. I've been here a month and some change, and we've done 2 community service projects. And I intend doing more, and I want to get out in the community. I want to meet people, and that's been a big just a big awesome deal, is seeing the outpouring of support from our community so far. But I want to continue getting the community, and I want this I want Clarksville to know that this is their program, and I want people to be around it, and I want people to enjoy it, and I want it to be a family atmosphere. And Callie, my wife, and I, we are really blessed to be here in Clarksville, Tennessee, and get to be the head coach here at Austin Peay, and we're really excited for the future. And so I appreciate you guys having me on and let me have some airtime today.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us, and welcome.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Go Govs.
Let's go Peay.
Let's go Peay.
Let's go Peay. Let's go Peay.